Good afternoon, everyone. Java and Goodwater coming to you from the Laurel Highlands Trail in southwestern Pennsylvania. We are on our way back from our Midwest tour and wanted to do this trail. We did this a couple of years ago, back in, we think, 2018, and decided we liked it then. It was in the middle of the summer. At that point, we wanted to see what it was like to do it in the fall, hopefully with some fall colors, and well, we've got some fall colors here. So it is a 70-mile trail through the Laurel Highlands National Park. No, not National Park, sorry. I think it's a state park. And through this area out western Pennsylvania. It's a really beautiful trail. We enjoyed it the last time, so but hey, let's do it again. So we will be taking you on a 6-day tour of this trail. We are starting today. It is a Sunday. On this trail, you are required to stay in shelters, or not shelters, but at the designated camping areas, and you have to actually reserve those camping areas. You can tent, but they also have shelters, and which is what we plan to use. We have reserved those for the next couple of nights. We plan to take 6 days to do this trail. Just a handful of miles, probably about 5 today, and then 6 the last day, and somewhere in the 12 to 19 on the days in between, the 4 days in between. So that's the plan, and we'll share as much as we can with you as we go along, see what kind of views we have. My memory is a little bit fuzzy, other than a few parts what we did it a few years ago. So here we go, off on the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. Okay, we have made it just over 5 miles to the first shelter spot, and we're going to go back here and check it out. We're following the same itinerary that we did a couple of years ago. They have these areas. It's not just one shelter like on the Appalachian Trail. There's a grouping of shelters. They are pretty spread out though, which is nice because you have some privacy, but they are AT style shelters, 3-sided buildings. However, they have, each one has a fireplace as well. So I'll show you those in a couple of minutes. This is the wrap up for day 1 on the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. And we didn't do very much today, 5 miles. I mean, that was enough for day 1. I don't know, you can probably explain it a little bit better as to how we laid out this trail, as far as the distances and the shelters and things like that. But
well, yeah, there on the Laurel Highlands, you have to stay at designated spaces when there are shelters and tent sites there, which you need to reserve ahead of time. So you're kind of locked in. But they're pretty much every 12 miles. I think they're about 12 miles apart, give or take. So yeah, so we only had 5 miles in from the trailhead today. But tomorrow we have a 19-mile day, and then like 15s, I think, until our last day.
So we do, 5 or 6 again the last day. Yeah.
So it's not you can't just kind of keep hiking and be like, okay, let's look for a tent site in the next mile. You have to stay at spaces, which is fine.
Because they do have rangers that come up and check.
Yes.
And we did have to register for these campsites. Of course, we haven't seen a ranger yet this trip, but we did on the last one,
in 2018.
at least one.
Yeah.
And they were checking permits, and which is in our case is just an email that says yes, you've paid.
I think it's a safety element as well, because they know where we are and they know what our itinerary is. Not that it's by any means wilderness or out in the middle of nowhere, not like PCT by any means. However, it is a safeguard just to say, okay, you know, they're supposed to be here. If they're not here, then where are they? Kind of situation if they do come up and check on a space. So
so Laurel Highlands hiking trail is a 70-mile trail that terminates in Ohiopyle, Pennsylvania. So what we did today was we took
Ohiopyle.
Ohiopyle is a great town. I mean, maybe someday we'll take a vacation there again and at the state park and do all the fun stuff and show you some video there. It is a great place. Highly recommend
But
it.
if you're coming into PA, if you're not in Pennsylvania, or if you have not been to Ohiopyle, there's whitewater rafting, there's biking, there's hiking.
State
Falling
Park is
Water
great.
is there.
Falling Waters, which is a Frank Lloyd Wright house.
Yeah, lots of stuff to do.
Yeah. So at any rate, the trail, whatever, it has a terminus there. So what we did was we hired one of the outfitters there to shuttle us out to the other end of the trail, and then we're just going to hike back into town.
Yes.
Wilderness Voyagers.
Yes.
I believe is the name of the outfitter.
They brought us up to Seward.
Seward.
Yes.
Yep. So so an hour and a half drive out here, and then our 5-mile hike in. But the trail is pretty much, and this wrap up might be a little bit longer just because we're explaining things. The trail is basically ridge walking, right?
Well,
for the most part.
We haven't gotten to ridge yet, but yes, we had to climb up today.
So
we're back in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Because it's hot. Well, not hot. It's humid. And wet and rocky.
Right.
So
basically, you climb and then you walk across the ridge for a majority of the trail, and then you descend down into town.
Yes.
That's the general idea. So I'll at some point we'll put a picture of the elevation map and that kind of stuff in there so you can see. So today was just damp. I think with there's a low pressure system coming through, and also the hurricane that recently came,
Hurricane
Helene, that just came up through in the last week, or the last couple of days rather. So it's been raining. So today wasn't so bad. I mean, it really just kind of drizzled a little bit, dripped on us, but everything is wet and damp. So, so that's we didn't have anything necessarily to speak of, to see today. So hopefully tomorrow, in 5 miles, it's hard to see a lot, but and so I think that's it, pretty much for day one. So I will flip the camera around here and show you the space that we're in. Oh, I just also wanted to say that not only do the rangers come up and check permits, but there also are bathrooms up here. So pit toilets, privies, if you will. I mean, they're nice ones. They're block buildings, stone buildings, but they do keep them stocked with toilet paper.
There's JP.
Yeah, which is really nice. And there's a water pump at each one of these shelter areas. So yes, we do filter the water. However, we don't have to collect from a stream or a spring or anything like that. So I wanted to mention that because we are not near those things. It's a little bit of a walk down. So I'm not going to go down there just to show you, but maybe at one of the next ones.
Sure.
So, okay. That's it for day one. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Good night.
Night. And here we are at shelter number 5. We chose number 5 for all of our sites so we wouldn't have to remember what number we were in every night. So this is typical shelter area for the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. Just down behind those shelters a little bit are the bathrooms and the water and a pump and another couple of shelters. There's also plenty of tenting space in this area too. But anyway, these shelters are really nice. They have, as you can see, it's kind of just Adirondack style, and they all have this fireplace on them. So we learned this the last time we did this trail, that the fireplace came in really handy for drying out our clothes on the last time it rained on us pretty hard. So yeah, shelters aren't anything to necessarily fancy or to speak of. There is a little shelf and some hooks, and just a flat area in here to put your stuff down on. So that's it. We are wrapping up our evening here. We just finished up dinner and brushing our teeth and all that fun stuff that we need to do. So we did decide to bring our bear canisters. They are not required out here, but we decided, since we have them, let's use them. They come in handy for sitting on, and honestly, they started to grow on us a little bit as far as organizing our food a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, there you go. That's Route 56 shelter area, night 1. Have a good night.